What's up, guys and gals, and welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a game called Netherguild. This is a game where you run the Overworld and effectively select parties of adventurers to send down into the dungeon in tactical RPG combat. They try to go as far as they can, and then after they've done that, you use the stuff that they have managed to bring back to the surface in order to continue getting upgrades and things of that nature. I haven't actually played this game yet. It was recommended to me, so we're going to be doing a first impressions type deal today, so I'm going to be taking it as I go. Little bit of improvisational work, I suppose, in today's video. But that's fine. That's actually how I prefer to operate, in all honesty. I like to be surprised. I like to be adapting to things during the normal course of a video, rather than, like, a lot of the time I'll play for 5 or 6 hours beforehand, and I'll have, like, the whole 30-minute video mapped out in my head with, like, bullet points and spots where I'm going to talk about this or that. The improvisational ones are fun, because I just get to kind of, like, adapt on the fly, which makes it a little bit more off the cuff. So anyways, Netherguild. I've got a link for you down below in the description. This is a free demo of the game that you can check out right now. The game is scheduled to have a Steam release. However, it's not there yet, so the link is going to be to itch.io, where you can get the zip file and unpack it and all that kind of fun stuff and try it out, just in case I did a poor job of explaining what's going on, or in the case that you just wanted to get hands-on by yourself. Aside from that, down below that, you'll also find a link to my Discord and my Twitch stream, just in case you wanted to swing on through, hang out live, pick my brain about anything that's gone through the channel in the last week or two. My memory is notoriously poor, but I'll do my best to answer any questions you got for me. Let's start the game. Far beneath the land, and the very ground that we walk upon, was the kingdom of Gaia. A brilliant kingdom of engineers and inventors who were our greatest allies in ages past. We aided each other through conquest, trade, and research. Through plague and ruin, through victory and prosperity. However, our friendship was shattered once the Gaians discovered the heretical secret of immortality. This grave sin left us no choice but to seal the path to their world forever. But now there are rumors of a deadly, gruesome plague on Wesnor's outskirts. A pestilent calamity that threatens to destroy our kingdom. Thus, 500 years after the sealing of the Underworld, the king and his royal council have created the Netherguild, the guild for delving far underground. They have summoned you, a noble, to assemble a team of loyal expeditionaries, retrieve a cure from our ancient allies, our only hope. I mean, you'd think like in the last 500 years we would have started doing science ourselves. Alright, well, the king orders thee, assemble a group of expeditionaries, descend deep into the world underground, and fetch a cure to the ravenous and distant plague from the ancient Gaians below. In order to assemble and supply an initial crew, we have given you $75. Alright, this is working out pretty good for me so far. Yeah, you can keep the tutorial rocking. Alright, so we gotta go over to the guild. That'll allow us to hire new recruits. It doesn't look like I can highlight anything else for right now. As you can tell, the game is going for kind of a colorful, low-poly aesthetic. So here we can get different people. Yeah, I kind of assumed it was the guild. So we've got Freya, who is apparently a knight. Yeah, we can have a knight. That sounds rad. We've got a Inquisitor Assassin. Okay, who has knowledge of religion. What do you have knowledge of? Do you have knowledge of anything good? He's like, meh, mostly punching. That's where I've put most of my learning points, just into the punching arts. The art of impactful diplomacy. All right, well, it seems like I only get these 4 guys, so let's hire all 4. That gave us a scout, it gave us a ranger, it gave us an assassino, a sicario. We've got ourselves a mercenary knight up here. Sounds good. Next up, we got to go to the market and buy some supplies. All right, colorful little huts. Let's get some goodies. So firewood logs are used for constructing campfires. Resting and eating is the only way to heal when you're underground. Good to know. Wow, that violin is really getting up in my ear right there. Like, I'm trying to talk to you guys, my audience, and there's just this violinist back there like, I wanna rock. I'm like, all right, violinist. I appreciate the enthusiasm, but just go sit down. We've got a chair for you. It says violinist on it. Go sit down for a minute. We're going to do the verbal portion, and then you come in at the appropriate moment with kind of like the I want to rock. Like, I get it. We all want to rock from time to time, but... All right, so we got some firewood and food items so that we can rest and heal. So we've got parsnips and we've got turkey legs. I'll go ahead and take a couple turkey legs. That sounds good. What does that do? It gives 8 health when you eat it? Okay, but it makes you fat and makes you slow after you eat it. Okay, maybe I'll get some parsnips or something? Yeah, we'll throw... I don't think that I've ever had a parsnip. In my life, I'm not sure that I could verify that I've ever consumed a parsnip willingly, but that's fine for right now. We'll leave that where it's at. That seems okay to me. Now that we have supplies, we need to hire a few characters in the guild building. We can head... Oh, we're actually ready right now. Sweet, dude. Let's cut her loose. Our first expedition. All right, so we start out with a B point up here, the Bluestone Mines entrance. A deep and ancient mine from before the Wesnorian Gaian era and the edge of the long ancient trading route. Who knows what dangers might be here? It's zombies, isn't it? It's going to be zombies, and it's going to be like some Skeletors. All right, so we got to pick our characters. It looks like we just drag and droop them on in there, so droop it up, my boys. Let's get rocking. Actually, I think this may be entire... Okay, ladies, because there's like a Freya, there's a Nora, there's a Lillian, and there's a Brenda. Okay, so this is the lady party right here. I didn't really read the names. I just kind of clicked through and was like boink 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 and just added them to the party. Okay, ladies, line up. It's time for us to do some noble adventuring. All right, so in our equipment menu, we can assign people to carry stuff. Yeah, you hold on to the logs. You will be the guardian of the snip, and you will be the guardian of the turkey hawk. Well done. All right, so we've got 2 parts. The first is the overworld, and then there's the underground where we explore. Gotcha. Okay, so they gave me a bunch of, like, random, like, camera control stuff, so I was just going through that real fast all by my lonesome. We can move around with our characters as well. Oh, I can just wast around, too, if I don't want to click. Like, if I am fundamentally offended by the idea of clicking, we can walk around with wast as well. And then apparently we can end our turn with the space bars. So, like, yeah, just go ahead and end it on up right there. I have ended many turns. All right, so we do have, like, an inventory menu over here as well. Like, we can actually take a look at all the stuff our characters are equipped with, and it looks like they've got a little bit of, like, an Albion Online style system where your gear gives, like, it's kind of a hybrid. So it looks like you get skills from the various things that you have on you. So we've got Deep Cut and Dagger Storm, and then the other stuff doesn't seem to add much. But you do get stats off this stuff, too. All right, so we've got a skill tree over there. So we can go individual inventories, and then we've got our skill trees over here, which are actually kind of little and limited for right now, but hopefully those will flesh out with time. Let's see where we can go. It looks like there's a path over this way. Follow me, boys. All right, so we've got initiative. So it's a random number, and the higher it is, the earlier you go in combat. Gotcha. So our guy way in the back is the first person to act. We do have very small text up inside of here. It does look like it gets a little bit larger when you mouse over it, although I'd recommend by default that be a little bit bigger. I'm going to move over to here. So it looks like our movement and our attacks are distinct from one another. I'm going to go ahead and fire a sharp arrow at that guy. There you go. 2 damage right there. Okay, I'll take it. I'll take it. This guy has a crossbow and a knife. Let's just go ahead and set up a firing line over here, I guess. What are you? A bow-wielding bandit. How did he get in here? I thought the door had been sealed for 500 years. Like, how would you possibly make a living off of banditry? Oh, there's more enemies. Oh no, I've been whomped. I've got little cartoon-style Tweety birds rotating about the old cabeza. What does this do? Does it stun? All right, shield bash this guy. He's on top of our archers right now. I'm going to zoom in a little bit, too, just to give you guys a better view. Can I fire through my own lines? I guess come around over to this side, and we'll knife stab him on up. There we go. 2 piercing damage. I do think that the sound effects could afford to be punched up a little bit. There is a lack of feedback here that I think is not good. Like, you want to hear like that ting, or, you know, like the little like when you stab people. Like, I'm trying to do it with my mouth, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like, a shield bash should just have like a wakong noise to it, like, and like sound like it's a shield bash. It's very, very important to the overall immersion of the experience. Can I attack on diagonals? I cannot attack on diagonals. He's stunned anyways, so no harm, no foul. We'll go ahead and slash him on up. And then this guy is ready to fire again. I don't know if there's going to be like an altitude penalty because I'm firing from lower. It doesn't look like there was, so that's good. We've got another knife stab over here, although I'm kind of the opinion that I want my archer to move back a little bit. He should probably not be in the fray right now. That guy's now dead, and it looks like they they have little dialogues and stuff. Cool. Oh, it's money. Gotcha. Can I loot the dead guy? Doesn't look like I can loot the dead guy. I would like for the knight to be out front. I think that was a fundamental failure of the last time I came down in here. While exploring underground, there may be oddities, events, or items you can interact with. Okay, cool. Sweet. So there's a thing right here. What is this? A skeleton lay buried under the rocks. It seems like the poor bastard was crushed by the cave ceiling breaking apart. Yes, it's one of those old classic rocks fall, the party dies situations. Those tend to happen frequently after you have, like, pre-game bad news to deliver to your DM, and they're just not feeling it. Yeah, loot him. Using your strength, you clear the rocks, under which you discover the dead miner had a silver ingot in his pocket. You thank the gods and apologize for disturbing the dead. Okay, so I assume that this is probably something that I can sell. Yeah, you can trade it for money in the overworld. I would recommend, so these little menus right here are a little bit murky. I think these could be punched up a little bit with the gray color. If you've noticed, a lot of the items in the inventory, they are kind of like gray or like kind of a dim pastel brown. And when it goes up against the backdrop color of that light gray right there, it can be hard to distinguish. I would recommend maybe going for like something with like a gold paneling, or there's a workaround here where you could just make the indentations where the items are actually listed a much darker gray color, like a closer to black right there, so that these pop a little bit more, and it'll unflatten this a little bit. There's kind of a flatness to this menu that I think a little bit of a deeper color inside these recesses where the gear go would make it pop and like kind of make it jump out at the player a little bit more and add some texture to it. Not a huge thing, but just an observation. Typically when these demos go out, it's because people are looking for input. So there you go. I have input. So some enemies will be docile. These guys will only attack if we attack them. Okay, we'll leave them alone for right now. Like, I'm not a murderous psychopath that, oh, hey, what's up? Something to kill. We probably want to draw these guys out. I'm going to move over to here. I don't know how our initiative went here. I'd prefer they not be able to get after my archers. So if I have like another melee guy, I'd prefer that my melee guy go in and kind of block the travel path right here. And it does look like we're quite a bit faster than these dudes. I think I could fire through my own lines. Yeah, there we go. Firing through the lines was easy peasy lemon squeezy. We got a couple more enemies over here. That one's got a bow. He has shot me in the butt cheek, which is obviously a clear breach in dungeon decorum. That's just not a thing that's typically done. Tends to be one of those things that's looked down on. We've got tracking. Reveals enemies in a 12-tile radius. Yeah, move in here and do that. I'm willing to give up some damage. Okay, so it's just the two cave shrimps. I don't mind that at all. All right, we'll go ahead and... Oh, it's a free action, so he can still do stuff here. Yeah, move up to the diagonal here just in case he somehow miraculously survives this turn. And we'll have you move in once we've got that sorted out. We should have one more turn here, plus he's got a bleed on him. Oh no, I've overmoved. All right, let's move back over to there. I would recommend they add in footsteps for when the characters are moving around, like a kind of a heeled boot, like clop, clop, clop noise while you're moving around, with maybe a little bit of an echo on it, since we're inside of a cave in a dungeon. There's a little bit of money. I do like the retro-styled, like, cash money, clinky kind of 8-bit noises they went for. It seemed like from the menu interactions, when we were on the main menu, that's going to be, like, the major aesthetic that they're shooting for. I'm going to turn my volume up a little bit so I can pay attention to the impact sounds and whatnot from combat, and just make sure that I'm not missing them. I turned my audio down to avoid the... Can I go up that way? Okay. All right, fair enough. I can't go up that way. Was there anything over in this corner? There was not. Okay, so I think we're done here. And we don't have like a hunger meter or anything else to worry about while we're down in here. So I think we're largely okay. I don't see any other paths opening up on this side, but I like to be thorough in games like this. So we'll go over to the dungeon right here, and we will go deeper. Looks like I got to get everybody inside the dungeon tiles. There we go. Deeper. Into the mines. Into the dark. Into the damp. The bandits here are nothing compared to the barbarians of the north. Okay, well, let's not jinx it with proclamations like that for right now. That seems like one of those things that you say and then somebody gets hit. Like, somebody says that, like, they're like, I think this is going pretty well. And then all of a sudden, somebody in the back lines, like in the movie of the dungeon crawl, gets smacked in the neck with a crossbow bolt, and it's just like, and like falls over, and then all of a sudden the intense music kicks in. You're like, quickly to me! And then all of a sudden we're running for our lives, and we're screaming, and we're like, you know, praying for absolution, and like demons are showing up. There's a treasure chest over here. I'll definitely take the 12 free monies. Oh, there's a bow in there too. The killer's bow. Okay. It's just a bow that plays like random killer's one-hit wonders every single time you twang it out to fire it at somebody. And somebody told me, Thwip, you had a boyfriend. Thwip, looked like a girlfriend. Thwip. Like, it's just, that's the gimmick. I don't know. They sold a lot more copies in like 2012 than they're selling right now. Honestly, one of those kind of niche dungeon items that has not aged very well. I think we have to have some kind of adjacency here in order to pass this around. What kind of bow does he have? So he's got a simple bow. 2 to 7 damage, 1 to 2 range, accuracy, plus 3 piercing damage. What does this do? 2 to 6. So it's a stealthy shot, but it gets bonus damage when firing from behind. It's also got a headshot right there. Okay, yeah, let's go for it. Throw that thing on. Yeah, why not? Here, you can carry around the plethora of bows that we've got in our inventory for right now. What are you? You stumble upon a flipped mining cart. It doesn't seem that heavy, but it's stuck between a few bluestone crystals. Looks like there's something shining beneath it. Flip it. You do some stretches, prepare properly, and try to flip. Yeah, calisthenics really kind of dictate whether or not you're going to be able to flip over a minecart. Many's the time in my youth where a fallen minecart was the main obstruction to my adventures, and stretching out properly prior to a good lift, it's important. You don't want to throw a disc. It's a tough and straining job, but you succeed. Below the cart, you discover absolutely nothing besides more shiny blue stone. However, this is great training. You feel stronger and more confident, gain 4 XP. Nice. Okay, I wonder if... Uh-oh. Hostiles ahead. So it looks like my archer drew the first straw. He's got headshot, which is supposed to be used from the front. Oh, headshot's got like a range on it. Can I get it from right there? I can get the guy in the back from right there with the headshot. Not bad. Okay. Yeah, I'll take that. That was a pretty good hit right there. Doesn't look like we have attacks of opportunity, at least not in the classic sense. Okay, so there are sound effects in there for what we're trying to do. Yeah, but I still think like the impact, so I feel like the, you know, the whooshes and stuff from firing an arrow are fine, but the impact, you want to punch that up a little bit. Give it a little bit more of like a plosive quality. Now let's go ahead and 4-slash this guy down. Another one bites the dust. We get bonuses for firing from behind, so I'm going to give this guy the old booty pelting. Okay. I guess we rolled a 1 right there, and the plus 3 damage made it up to a 4. I guess we can stab away. Oh, he's bashing everybody right now. Apparently, we're all just gonna, like, have stars in our eyes this entire time. Apparently, there was another silver ingot right there that we could pick up as well. All right, so go ahead and we're gonna finish this guy in this turn. I was gonna stun him, but I don't see the point. Like, we're about to finish him anyways, so why worry about it? Get that angle. Not the greatest damage if we're not hitting from behind, so we definitely kind of want to prioritize getting that behind shot. Looks like we got a big old grip of money right there and another parsnip. Very good. So now there's food for everybody to eat whenever we decide to make a campfire. I assume that we probably do that by... Our health is not that bad right now. I'm going to wait till we're at least at like half health. Anything else around here? Not that I can see. There's the dungeon exit. We've got another path off this way, which has led us to more banditos. What does this do? Dagger Storm. It's a ranged attack for 4 slashing damage. Okay. Yeah. Oh, there are many bad guys around here. All right, well, let's start from the top. Let's not get too wild and crazy. So I'd like to go for a headshot right here. Not bad. Okay, we've already got a guy down. We've got another crossbowman right here. I'll probably go for just a crossbow shot right there. I don't know if we have ammo to worry about either. Since this guy's definitely going to get a turn, we're going to stun him. There's a little bit of a bong noise when you hit him, but it could definitely be louder with respect to the default soundtrack. Okay, that's fine, because that sets us up for a back shot over here. Very nice. Another 4 piercing attack. Okay, so with our knife stab, yeah, I mean, we could do that. It's not much, but it's something. We'll finish the job right there. It looks like you don't get to move after attacking, so this game is following kind of old school D&D rules, where you can't move then attack or attack then move. Like, you basically have to do your movement, and the second you take any action, you're basically locked out. Yeah, just fire from right there. It doesn't really matter. We can't really get in behind him, so I'm not going to stress too much about it. We'll go ahead and take our attack right there. Very, very nice. So down that enemy goes. We got 5, 6 crowns. Man, we've almost recouped the entire cost of this expedition. And nobody's died. That's always a nice bonus. I know I brought up the financial portion first, but the nobody died portion is the part that concerns me. I promise. We do have an undiscovered area over here. Shrine to the gods of the underground. You stumble upon a shrine to the god of mining, Minarith. His crystalline figure holds a pickaxe with his right hand and a torch in his left. Sacrifice a turkey leg? It seems Minarith has accepted the sacrifice. The delicious smell of the burning turkey leg reinvigorates the party's hunger and motivates them to push on to the underworld. Everyone has gained an extra... Okay, so when they eat, they get plus 8 HP. And then for this floor, we get 1 strength, which is not useful at all because I think we're about to leave and vacate the premises. But it would have been useful had I turned right instead of just, like, ham-fistedly charging forward with only the intent of getting to the next loot spot. All right, let's go deeper. How deep does this go, out of curiosity? Like, when do we hit the point at which it's like ripcord time? Just an honest question. I'm not afraid or nothing. I'm not as scared. Shrine to the gods of... Oh, it's another Minarith shrine. Let's gaze at it. Inspired navigation. We get 2 more movement for this floor. There is loot over there. Enemies ahead. Let's go ahead and move the Inquisitor up. And we'll go ahead and give this guy the old knifey stabby stabby. You know, the old Shiva Fool motion. I think this is kind of aggressive, but I'll move you to right here. Okay, nice little bit of damage right there. I'll take it. We've got headshot from over here, I think. Very nice. 7 damage on that headshot, so that went just incredibly well. And then we'll bash that guy right there just to make sure that he doesn't get a turn. And this should be easy cleanup. Get on in here. Make him bleed. You don't have a ranged attack ready to go, so we'll go ahead and just stab freely, my friends. Can I get him from right there? There you go. Did I use the wrong ability? How come that did 1 damage? Huh. Felt like that was going to do... Oh, I wasn't doing headshot. That's right. Headshot. Headshot's the one from the front. That's my fault. Another ingot and a free leg of the turkly durkly. All right. There was something shiny over here, too. Maybe that's just like an environmental thing. I thought there was an object right there that was being all shiny. 20 crowns out of the treasure chest on that side. I am interested in seeing what we can... Oh, we've got a bludgeon, so it's a mace. It gives you bludgeon. It is a 1 bashing damage attack that inflicts bleed that does 2 every turn. How does that compare to the dagger that this guy's got? Strength plus 1 slashing damage. Strength minus 1 bashing damage. So really we're trading for either the direct damage or the damage over time here. Can he have a club as well as a ranged? He cannot. Okay. What's your strength look like? Out of a curiosity. So you've got 3 strength, so he'll do 2 damage, but it'll add a bleed on that'll make up for the lost damage. We'll just hold on to it. Maybe we'll sell it when we get back to town. I am finding it a little bit difficult to distinguish between the walls and the floor when there's no set object that's setting up the isometry for like the layout. There may be like a better tilt to the camera they can find to sort of alleviate that. Either that or it might be just like a personal issue. But that is something that I've noticed, especially in areas with lots of fog of war. I'm having trouble determining where the floor and where the wall begin when there's not like a gap or there's not some kind of doodad on the wall to mark it as a wall. What we're going to want to do here is we definitely want to block this off the best that we can so that they can't get through. We basically just want to form up a front right here. I'm going to go for a headshot, I guess. 7 damage. Savage. All right, what can you do from right here? Not much. Okay, let's move over to here. And if you could just finish him off, that would make this whole thing a lot simpler. I'd like some kind of death confirmation sound, too, from the enemies, like when they die. Like some kind of like, ah! You know, some kind of like emotive interjection that denotes the fact that they have fallen and are slain. Let's get a kill over here because we need to isolate some of this damage. We're getting hit pretty hard. It may be camping time for our tank. I don't know if that's going to count as a behind shot, but I'm going to try. It did count as a behind shot, so that's good. Okay, and so with the bleeds and everything else mounting, finish him off. Yeah, I think we're going to need like a little nap time after this. We're not too badly damaged, but we're badly damaged enough that I feel like if the fights keep escalating, it's not going to go good. We'll go ahead and get a bleed off right there, and honestly, I think the bleed's going to finish him off, so there's no reason to kind of waste charges. We have here another parsnip. Okay, inventory's getting a little bit full, but that's all right. Let's go ahead and... Oh, we've got a new skill. Very nice. So for level 2, we can get Rally. That will allow us to strengthen. So everybody's strength gets increased for 2 turns. Or we can get Fortress Stance. It's a melee attack that does bashing damage and pushes enemies away, and then you auto-block the next attack on the next turn. We'll do that. That sounds good. Did everybody get a level up? Doesn't look like it. I think not everybody got a level up. All right, so let's go to the total inventory right here. And I don't know if we have to go to a specific camping spot in order to use this. I think we build a bonfire. Okay. So he needs the firewood. Who do we have like on our clicker right now? We've got the scout. Okay. So let me see here. Give the scout the firewood. There we go. Now that we have a bonfire, we got to move everybody adjacent. We'll go ahead and turn off follow mode real fast. It's a little fiddly-diddly, but I don't hate it. All right, so everybody is adjacent now, and it looks like we can deconstruct. We can rest. Very nice. So that's what we need. Everybody rest. Okay, and so we pick everybody's food. Yeah, you get the turkey leg. You don't need to be healed, so you're good. You can have the parsnip. It looks like it auto-assigns the food based on how much HP they have missing. So that's actually a really, really nice quality of life thing. All right, well, we're all done. Everybody fall in. F keys up, boys. It's time for us to go. Let's return to the overworld because I want to see like how the colony management parts matter. So it looks like our knight leveled up. Very cool. We brought back a whole bunch of goodies. So there's a huge crowd waiting for our return. They shower you with gifts, and you spend the day sharing tales about the mines. So we gain noble standing and common standing. You head into the convoluted bazaar to find a smith you can sell the silver ingot to. Okay. So now we have access to an armory. So it looks like for money, we can buy idols. We've got what looks like a whiskey flask. We've got a two-handed crossbow here that slows down your initiative. We've got like a little bit of armor right there. I like to see that. I really like that pixel art armor graphic right there and the crossbow graphic. It's like primitive, but it looks good. Hopefully they do more of that. Like, I would love to see the little characters, instead of these little outlines right here, I would love them to have like a little portrait that's kind of done in the same style as like the armor right there, just to kind of tie it together. Although I'm not like an aesthetic designer, so developers, feel free to tell me to shut up if that's a terrible idea, okay? I support you. And so we have our warehouse. That's where we store all of our stuff for later. Okay. And then does the guild get new people? Oh, it did. That's pretty cool. So I can get like a special ops assassin right here. How is the special ops assassin different from my normal assassin? So it looks like they have modifiers that are randomly drawn. So they're like hybrids, I guess. So he's a mercenary knight. This guy's a watchman scout, a Northguard ranger. That has a Northguard ranger. But this guy's a bodyguard scout instead of a watchman scout. So like, how does that change it around? Is a knowledge of commerce. What do you have? You have a knowledge of criminal knowledge. Okay. So I guess they have like these different skills that tie in as well, I suppose. Like they have like these different knowledges, I guess, that you make sort of like a D&D style skill check while you're down in the dungeon when it's applicable. And it like will get you through it and get you some loot or something like that. Okay. Yeah, I like it. This is Netherguild. I hope you guys dug what I've showed off so far. Unfortunately, we've kind of run out of time here. Our first dungeon dive took like 30 minutes before I found that button that would allow me to go back up to the surface. But yeah, I think with some punchier sound effects and like maybe I really, I didn't even notice that the items on the characters had those little pixel art graphics right there. I think there's definitely an opportunity to get some little portraits done. You know, like, get a little portrait done so you could move this down to here so that, like, the character's actual voxel doll is down here and able to be, like, rotated. But then they have, like, their character portrait up here that's kind of, like, procedural with different hairstyles and stuff like that to distinguish them from one another. Might be kind of badass. But for now, this is a very early alpha of the game, so keep that in mind. This is kind of like a tech demo proof of concept. I like it. I've never been like a big low poly guy, so like I'm not gonna like comment on that, but everything seems to work pretty well. I think it's just kind of the accompaniment and like the sound effects that need to be punched up a little bit, and then I think the angle of the isometry could be a little bit better in the dungeon to distinguish like walls from like floors when you don't have a lot of doodads and things around. So those are like pretty much the only two things that I noticed. Other than that, everything seems to function fairly well. My name is Splattercat. I sift through the pile to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games every single day so you don't have to. Today we had Netherguild. This game is available for you to go play right now at the link that I provided for you down below. I sift through the pile every single day to find what's worthwhile in the world of indie games so you don't have to, and my job is done for the next 24 hours. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for hanging out, and that's all I got. Bye, everybody.